So you can see by placing parentheses in the problem, it completely changes the answer. You could work with problems like this, add the parentheses to, so if you were to remove them from over here, and then add them over here, well, we get that, it's all off, but that'll as well change the problem. So continuously having students come up and work out the problem in different ways really helps it sink in, the actual order, and then students would use, they could always look back and use it. So,
in a way, like some mistakes about our activities, some students may do like this. First they do multiplies and then they do divided. So that is, it's incorrect.
It's a misconception. Yeah. It's easy to remember when you look at the word PEMDAS. The multiplication comes before division. So a lot of times students think, well, I have to multiply before I divide. So actually, these two are kind of together. You would not, they both have the same precedence. So basically, you would work from left to right when solving the problem. And that's something that students need to be aware of and that the teacher should be aware of when looking at how students are learning. The same thing with addition. It's the same thing in the acronym. Addition comes before subtraction. That's another misconception. And this is just another example for students to practice the order of operations. And once again, you see division, multiplication. You would work from left to right and solve the problem. So another thing that we didn't bring it, well, let me bring it up. Another thing that you could do with students in helping them learn the order of operations is order of operations bingo. So after students really gain understanding of PEMDAS, the order and everything, it's on the bottom. It's right here. Oh, you have it?
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I reopened it. So basically, you would give the students, it's on the Illuminations website. It's a really great game to play with the students to help them really apply the knowledge that everything that they're learning. So basically, you give them the expressions, you wouldn't have the answers. So this is more for the teacher, but if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, so you'd give them these expression strips with the answers blank. Scroll down more, please. And then students would be handed these bingo cards. And on the bingo cards, they would put the numbers down, and one would be a free space, like a regular bingo game. I think, are we all familiar with this bingo? So basically, you have students solve the expressions, and then they can place tiles or something to, some kind of object, and they can play the game, and they can repeatedly practice. They can play in partners, they can play in groups, and it gets them really excited about it, have them just constantly practicing, because that's the main, that's the important part, is that they really need to practice and remember how to play. So I think this game is a really good way to keep them really engaged and involved. So for the assessment, okay, so you could ask questions. Students, the order of operations says to multiply and divide first. What does this mean? And students, does anyone want to know? Does anyone know what it means, even though the answer is right there?
So we collect their answers, and then we just use this as a summary for them, like this.
To just assess how they're understanding what is being taught.
So through questions about the assessment. So we still have 2 questions like this. We also support the answers, but in classroom for students we won't give them answers until the end, like we collect them.
Yeah. So again, you know, you would reiterate addition and subtraction have the same precedence. What does this mean? And then students could write it down or discuss it as a class, the meaning of the operations, give them more expressions to solve and explain the order, why parentheses are done first, multiplication, division, the order. So basically, this lesson gives students an understanding of the order of operations. So you could have them in their math journals write, you know, what they learned from the lesson, what they understood, and that's a good way to assess their understanding of what is actually going on.